Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, ttoo fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, linebacker out of California, University of Pennsylvania, Spencer Lynn. Spencer, I appreciate you taking some time to chat today. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. I appreciate you taking the opportunity to talk to me, too, and help get my name out there a little more.
Absolutely. Anything I could do, I got to say, the pleasure's all mine. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I just want to start this interview off by asking you a pretty simple question, and that is, coming out of high school, why did you decide to attend Cal PA and play for the Vulcans?
Well, I was getting some looks from some pretty big-time Division I programs, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and the likes of that. But I was only 190 pounds in high school, so I was very undersized for an inside backer. And I would be hearing from these teams, and they would say they liked my film and everything, and then, if I went to their campus to watch a game or something, or if they came to my school to visit me, they would see me in person, and just kind of, you could tell right away they lost interest just because of my size. So I was undersized. I ended up with a good about 10, 11 offers, and those split up between Division I AA and Division II schools. I ended up choosing Cal because it's really close to my home. It's only about a half hour from my home, so my family could come watch and everything. And it was really important to me. And Cal has, a very good reputation as a Division II football team for getting guys to the next level. Right now, we have 5 or 6 guys on NFL rosters, a couple guys on CFL rosters, and just a really good football reputation at this school.
Absolutely. Now, I know that you went on to redshirt your freshman year, and then in 2011, as a redshirt freshman, you were able to start all 13 games, and you finished second on the team with 90 tackles, as well as 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and an interception. So after sitting that first year of yours at Cal PA, what was it like to start every game as a redshirt freshman? And did you have any idea that you would have the impact that you ended up having that first year of yours suiting up for the Vulcans?
Well, getting redshirted my first year, it made me miss football. I mean, obviously, I still got to practice with the team and work out and everything, but that's not the same as playing in games. So, I really kind of rededicated myself that offseason to getting better, and it paid off for me being able to play so much. And it was awesome being a part of it. That was the best team we had in the 5 years that I've been here. And it was awesome being a part of that team at such a young age. From that team alone, we had 5 guys get on NFL rosters and 1 guy get on a CFL roster just from that one team. And so there's a ton of talent, and it was awesome playing with them at such a young age. And, it was a great experience. And it was, and people from that team still kind of look at me and say it was awesome that I finished with 90 tackles, second on the team, as a 19-year-old kid.
Like you said, that team was loaded with talent, probably the best team that you were a part of during your time at Cal PA. You guys went 9-2 and made an appearance in the NCAA Division II playoffs that redshirt freshman year of yours, dominated Elizabeth City State in the first round, and then in the second round you guys lost to Winston-Salem State in a close one. A very solid year out of you individually and as a team. Over the next couple of seasons, you played in 19 games and started 4 of them. I'm just curious why that was, because you had a very promising freshman year. Were you battling an injury or something? How'd you lose that starting job?
Yeah. My sophomore year, I started the first 4 games that season, and I kind of had a freakish injury. I took a shot to the stomach, and I had a swollen liver. I felt fine in the game. It hurt in the game when it happened, but I finished the game that it happened in. And then that night, I was laying in bed and it felt like somebody was stabbing me in the gut. I knew something was pretty wrong. So I went to our trainers and everything, and then I had to sit out the next 3 games because if I would taken a shot like that, it could have been very bad. And they said it could have ruptured, which would have been obviously very bad. And so I sat out the next 3 games, and then I came back after that. I worked myself back into the rotation, but I wasn't starting anymore. And then the next season, right at the end of fall camp, I pulled my hamstring really, really bad. It was all bruised, and I had trouble walking and everything. So I ended up not starting that season. I didn't miss any games that season. I was able to keep playing, but I wasn't myself. I lost a lot of speed from that, and I didn't really start feeling better from that injury until 4 or 5 games into the season. Wow. But I mean, I was still in the rotation and everything. We've kind of both of those years we had a kind of a 4-man rotation at our 2 inside linebacker spots, and then my freshman year and this past season it was just me and another guy that we didn't really have a rotation my freshman year and senior years.
Well, those 2 years definitely sound brutal to say the least. But like you said, you were able to stay in the rotation. I know you also played special teams, and throughout those 2 seasons, you combined for 63 tackles. And you guys continued to have success as a team, going 8-3 in 2012 and 7-4 in 2013. Now, Spencer, what were your expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level?
Well, obviously, I want to stay healthy because I know when I'm healthy, I produce on the field, and that was my biggest goal, was just to stay healthy, and I did. And other than that, I wanted to lead the defense. As a senior and everything, and being around for so long, I really understand our defense. I was able to kind of be a quarterback and linebacker. And I pretty much ran our defense, making all the necessary checks and adjustments and everything. And that's something I take a lot of pride in because it's the mental side of the game that's often overlooked. And I really like being that guy that's out there, taking charge and taking the lead of the defense.
Spencer Lynn out of Cal PA joining the show. And Spencer, as a team, the Vulcans finished 8-2. You guys were undefeated, 5-0 at home, and individually you led the team with 87 tackles, and you also tallied 3 tackles for loss, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 forced fumble. And you were voted to the All-PSAC first team. Overall, how would you describe not only this past season, but your entire college football experience at California University of Pennsylvania playing for the Vulcans?
I loved it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, obviously, it would have been cool coming out of high school to go to a big Division I program, but the PSAC itself is a great Division II program. We have some great football. A ton of talent comes out of the PSAC. I mean, we had, just off the top of my head, 2 guys in the Pro Bowl last night, John Kuhn and Brent Grimes, both were PSAC players. And so it's a great small college football atmosphere. Yeah, I love playing here.
Now, I know that the rivalry between you guys and IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, it's a pretty big deal, I hear. During your time at Cal PA, you went 4-1, including that redshirt year of yours. The only loss coming in 2013. Now, I know you're from Pennsylvania. Growing up, did you have any idea about this rivalry? And now that you've been there for 5 years, how much does it mean to you that you're leaving there with a winning record?
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the Western Pennsylvania area know about the rivalry. It's a huge rivalry. And kind of all that started back in the 60s. There were twin brothers. One played football at KU and the other played football at IUP, and it's kind of what really got the rivalry going. And it's called the Coal Bowl because Western Pennsylvania is known for producing a lot of coal. And so we get a trophy. The winner of the game gets a trophy too, and it was awesome getting the trophy 4 out of my 5 years here. I mean, that's bragging rights. People always talk about, a lot of KU and a lot of IUP alumni end up working in Pittsburgh someday in an office together, and it's great to have. But it's just great to have those bragging rights over, anybody from IUP that I'll encounter in my life.
Oh, I'm sure. A couple of months ago, I was actually able to interview their tight end, Brock DeSico. So there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Once again, Chris Schanfeld talking to 2015 NFL Draft prospect, linebacker out of California University of Pennsylvania, Spencer Lynn. And Spencer, throughout your entire college football career, who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've had to play against? You mentioned the PSAC, how it's just loaded with talent. Does anybody specific come to mind?
The first person that comes to mind out of the PSAC, you actually mentioned it earlier, Winston-Salem State. Their running back that year was Nick Cooper. He was in the NFL for a little bit with the Packers. I think he might bounce around for some other teams too, but he was a heck of a running back. He's a big guy, big strong running back, probably about 5'11", 240. He could move for how big he was. He was tough to bring down. But then also, one of the things that pops to mind is in 2011 that year we had Rishawn Johnson and Eric Kutch both starting on our offensive line, and they're both in the NFL right now. And Kutch is with the Chiefs. Last I heard from Rishawn, he was with the Redskins. I'm not sure if he still is or not, but I mean, it was crazy to have a Division II school with 2 offensive linemen starting right next to each other that now both play in the NFL. So I got to go against them every day in practice, and that made me a heck of a lot better going against those 2 monsters.
Oh, I could only imagine. I could only imagine. Now, if you had to single out one, what's the biggest or most memorable play that you've made throughout your time as a Vulcan?
If I had to pick just one play, I'd say it was my my sophomore year, the first game of the season, and we were playing Hillsdale, which is a team from Michigan, and we were ranked number 10 at the time. They were ranked number 11, so it was a big game. And we were winning. I think the score was 26-22. We were winning, and they had the ball on our 1 yard line, 4th and goal, with about 3 seconds left in the game. And they snapped the ball, and they flash a fake up the middle to the running back, and he tried to jump over the top, but it was just a fake. And the quarterback rolled out with it. And I must have got a good read on the play because I didn't bite on the fake at all. I was chasing the quarterback down, and I got in his face, and he had to make a terrible throw, like an off-bounce throw, falling backwards to lob it up over me. And the ball got to the end zone, but it hung in the air forever, and it allowed our safety, who was Montez Miles at the time, who plays for the Jets now, it allowed him to get over and bat the ball down, and essentially won the game for us. Last second play, last play of the game on the 1 yard line, and we held him, and Montez came and ran. He jumped in my arms and hold him on the field. It was an awesome memory. Something I'll never forget.
Sounds good. Definitely sounds like it doesn't get too much better than that. Now, Spencer, I know a few weeks ago you were able to play in the All-American Bowl game, a college all-star game for some small school standouts. It was actually at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. How was that experience to play with some of the best in the country?
It was an awesome experience. I got to meet a lot of cool guys from all over the country that I never would have met before. And I played with some very good athletes in the game. The competition level was better than I thought it was going to be. I still prepared myself going into it like it was going to be, a playoff game or something. But the competition was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. It was mostly Division II and Division III guys, but there were a handful of Division I guys there that I guess the scouts wanted to see. So it was awesome playing against that high level of competition. And the stadium itself was just unreal. I just stood on the, when we got there, before the game, I stood on the 10-yard or 50-yard line and probably just looked around and all for 10 minutes. I felt like a little kid. It was unreal.
I'm sure. Now, as you mentioned, Cal PA has done really well over the last handful of years. And you said it, you guys have about 5-6 guys currently in the NFL. Is there any chance that you've been able to talk to any of your former teammates or anybody for that matter that has had any type of experience at playing at the next level? And have they given you any advice as to what to expect during this draft process?
One guy that I'm still pretty close with from our team that plays in the NFL now is Eric Kush. And all those guys that are in the NFL from our team, they all had the one thing they had in common was a great work ethic, and that's something you definitely need coming from a small school. And they all say that a lot of the times they'll feel that the scouts will overlook them or that favor somebody from a bigger school just because there's that notion that they play better competition and everything. But I think just their success in the NFL allowing to show that small school guys can definitely do it, and not to give up on your dream, and to work absolutely as hard as possible every single day. That's something that I take away from them.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you've heard it before. It only takes one team to fall in love with you, man. One team to give you that opportunity. Once again, Chris Schanfeld talking with 2015 NFL Draft prospect linebacker Spencer Lynn out of Cal PA here on the CS Podcast. And Spencer, what do you feel is your biggest strength as a linebacker?
I would definitely say my motor. I take a lot of pride in getting to the ball every single play, never taking a play off, never giving up on a play, and just running around out there like a crazy guy in pursuit of the football. I'd say that's definitely my biggest strength.
And how about a weakness? Is there anything specific you plan on taking some time to improve on during the off season?
I think my size is my biggest weakness, and that's something that's kind of always been my biggest weakness, so I'm used to it. I'm definitely undersized for an inside backer, and I know that. But I've never let that hold me back before, and I'm definitely not going to let that hold me back now. I am trying to add as much lean muscle as possible while not losing any speed or explosion or anything. And that's my biggest weakness at this point.
All right, now let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want linebacker Spencer Lynn out of Cal PA a part of his team?
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to find, a bigger linebacker, a stronger linebacker, probably even a faster linebacker. But you'll never find anybody that works harder than me. And just the overall dedication to the game, and not just football, not just playing and practicing itself, but every aspect of the game. Even when it comes to training and eating right, taking care of my body, staying away from drugs and alcohol, keeping out of trouble off the field, studying the playbook and studying film. You'll never find anybody more dedicated to the overall game than me.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to hear that. Now, if you would compare yourself to a linebacker currently playing in the NFL, Spencer, who do you think that would be and why?
I would say Sean Lee from Dallas Cowboys. He's my favorite linebacker in the NFL. I try to model my game after him. He's a great reader of the plays. his ability to read and diagnose is awesome, and just his overall pursuit. He's out there making tackles sideline to sideline, running all over the field. He's a very high motor, and he's somebody I try to pattern my game after. And he's also from the Pittsburgh area, like me. I was a big Penn State fan growing up, so he's a guy that I really try to model my game after.
Of course, one of the top linebackers in the NFL when he could stay healthy as well. I mean, definitely one of the top guys in the league for sure. And last but not least, here's a fun one to end the interview. What's something about yourself that many people may not know?
Something about me? Well, right now I'm working on my master's degree in business, and I should hopefully finish that by the end of summer. And that's something I take very seriously is my academics at school. I know I can't play football forever as much as I'd like to, but I know it's going to come to an end someday, so I've taken school very seriously. I have an undergrad degree already, obviously, and I'm close to finishing my master's, so.
All right, well, it definitely sounds like you have the right plan. Spencer, I really do appreciate your time, man. It was definitely a pleasure speaking with you. Definitely wishing you nothing but the best of luck throughout this process. Do you have anything else for us before I let you go?
No, that's it. I just want to thank you, too, for taking the time to do this. I really do appreciate it.
All right, great. Hey, the pleasure was all mine, man. Hope to keep in touch and take care, all right?
All right, sounds good.